Hey Gemini, welcome to my channel. I'm your Cosmic Auntie, and this is going to be your monthly reading. I'm recording it for December, but it could find you at any time and feel relevant to you at any time because energy works in its own cool way. So whenever it does find you, I'm just glad you're here. I feel like this conversation is going to be interesting. I took notes and we'll get into those because I know that you like some deets. I know that you like some deets. But before I get into the deets, I want to share the visual that I received for you. This, I guess, is the beginning deet. The visual was of a white bowl, and it was full of red grapes, and they were all like picked off. They were all just like grapes, and I could see kind of the bottom of the bowl, and it was held in a hand, and it was kind of like out a little bit, and there was a kind of a shadow of a body across where the grapes were going or coming from. So I feel like there's an element of sharing, giving, receiving. And then I really like dove deep into like grape symbolism. So let's get into these. So Capricorn had like a similar visual, but they were plums. There were plums in a white bowl. And they kind of have like an overlap of symbolism. Grapes are very across cultures, and plums are too, but it's another, they're both like ancient cultivated trees, plants. This one with the grapes, okay, so they have been dated as far back as 6,500 BCE, the Neolithic era. It's captured in hieroglyphics of the 4th, 17th, and 18th century, mentioned in many sacred texts all across the world. Yeah, grapes, indigenous people cultivated grapes for a long time. Grapes were served fresh or dried, mostly served as wine. In ancient times, wine was preferred over water because water wasn't always clean. So it's, when I saw the image, right, and it felt like this deep sense of reciprocity, and like I just felt like I really needed to get into this. And it's interesting, right, because they are such a focal symbol in many ways. And so the first thing I saw was Dionysus. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Greek mythology, fertility, linked to fertility. So some of the other symbolism is joy, abundance, patience, festivities, merriment. It could also swing into debauchery and intoxication as well. So there's this like sense of duality. I guess know your limit, play within it kind of thing. Very important symbolism in the Abrahamic faiths. And then I also wrote Through the Grapevine because I heard that song, and I felt two things with that. Two things. The first, because they were picked grapes in a bowl, and I just felt like there was an energy of boundaries and almost like separation from like the grapevine, kind of giving me like mind in your own business kind of vibes. But then of course you're Gemini, so I also received this other kind of like flip to that. And it's like, you know, picking certain goss and sharing the goss, because there's this notion. So I don't know. You let me know if this resonates with you or hits in any way or feels interesting, or if you know any grape facts, please let me know in the comments. So then there's also sour grapes, can mean envy or jealousy. So that there's that flip, like there's There's lighthearted information sharing. And then there's also kind of like petty stuff. So again, the grape can kind of, this is very feeling deeply akin to your archetype as like the twins, exploring duality, reciprocity. So then I found a list, and I'll leave it there. Grapes, symbolism of wealth, decadence, envy, jealousy, celebration, God, youth and good health, gossip. They have amazing health benefits, tons of vitamins, big antioxidant, good for the heart. So, whoops. What I ultimately kind of get energetically is a notion of sharing perspective, sharing resources, sharing the wealth. Okay, let's get into this. So we're going to use the Star Tarot, the Lightworker Oracle, and the African Goddess Rising Oracle. What can we know more about this bowl of grapes? Because yes, they symbolize prosperity, they symbolize abundance, good times. I mean, this is the holiday season, so there is a lot of sharing in moments and resources, food, gifts, you know? So there's a lot of visiting as well, and there's a richness with that, and grapes really are connected to that, you know, element of togetherness. And oh, I was in, you know, walking my dog and feeling into this visual, and when I was leaning into like the concept of, you know, we're symbolizing God, creator, right, the vine being existence, and then the, you know, bundles of grapes bundles of grapes are the individual within the groups that we find ourselves in, right? So there's this spirituality that comes with grapes as well. And, you know, there could be really deep conversations that are being had right now. There could be very enriching and rejuvenating, like, you know, the grape to the blood, you know, like antioxidant, refreshing, cleansing in some way. You know, this, you could be feeling called to eat a lot of grapes too. That could be something that would be helpful if you can, if you are, you know, of course not allergic, or, you know, if you like them. But even if there's a reason you can't eat grapes or don't like grapes, looking at the, you know, list of what they kind of give the body and finding unique ways to, yeah, there could be some helpful and, you know, messages there. All right, what's going on with the grapes? Queen of Pentacles. Oh yes, this is very like grape energy, just like luscious, close with nature, sensual, nurturing, the theme like that has been kind of emerging for this month's readings is the word cultivation. And when we were talking about how far back grapes have been cultivated all across the world, you know, thousands of years ago in like the Neolithic era, it's like this relationship we have with the earth and how important that relationship is, and how it is a, you know, concept of giving and receiving, right? There's this cultivation of the vine, and you know, provides grapes, and in turn we take care of the vine, you know. So I feel 5 of Wands that was dying to come out. I feel a lot of passion. That was the first word that came into my mind, is passion. I want to use the word sensual again because I feel like there's this energy of really grounding into the senses. And grapes, when we look at sharing a bowl of grapes, food is so grounding, food is so nourishing. So I really feel like there's a lot of energy with the senses, the sensuality. Like there's this fire within. It's like this energy of getting in touch with your more sensual side, which is cool and beautiful. I want to show you these cards, you know, just so that you can kind of see them. They're so beautiful. There's this like, hugging of flowers, of tenderness, of beauty, and also just with the fire that comes with the Five of Wands, this initiative, this passion, this determination, this expression mixed with the Queen of Pentacles. Like that energy is giving me this like fierce gentleness. So then we've got the Ace of Wands and the Chariot. I heard full speed ahead. There is like things that I sense are kind of locked in when it comes to what is, you know, feeling exciting and inspirational. And again, there's this sense of passion and fire, like bubbling up and expanding, or he's coming deep from the lava. And there's just so much like awareness, passionate awareness. With the Chariot, this is like momentum. I heard destiny and, you know, divine timing and balance between the head and the heart, the internal and the external. There's this alchemy, and with the, you know, kiss of the cosmos, there's momentum to something. So what else can we know? Seven of Cups. Wow. Okay, and then the Eight of Swords. The Strength card. There are like certain limits I sense have been broken through. There's a break free energy. There's a whole new realm, it feels like, to look around in. There's this like, feeling of that it's just the beginning, because there's kind of this energy of, there's a breakthrough, there's a break free energy. Like I said, there's like I guess just, yeah, heightened awareness or feeling really like close with the self, close with the soul. Like there's an element of kind of having a deeper understanding and understanding of yourself. And I heard what gets you going in like a really good way, like, you know, really gets you, I heard emboldened and like passionate and inspired and driven. I also just heard the sky's the limits, and I feel like that is exciting. The opportunities to explore. There's a real purpose and direction I feel in the energy. This groundedness and inspiration. There's this, oh man, it's interesting. It's super interesting, Gemini. Yeah, I want to show you this Chariot because it's giving me such Gemini vibes. It's a card that Cancer lends its energies to. I'm going to hold it up in the light so you can really see it. It's just so beautiful. But it also gives me Gemini vibes in this card because of the duality and the parallel like wands and the symmetry. Because like there's a notion of finding grounding the self in the duality, having a notion of, I was gonna say, it's a rhyme too, I'm gonna say it though, a notion of your potion. Okay, like it looks like potion kind of bubbling up from these cups. The Seven of Cups is, I just heard a whimsical energy, which is true. It can come with an element of an element of almost overwhelm. Like I heard there's this kind of almost like an overstimulation that can come with the Seven of Cups, because it's talking about the potential of it all, and just the invitation of it is to, you know, keep that center when it comes to mixing your potion of your energy, your alchemy. But it also can be quite whimsical and freeing, right? It feels exciting when it comes to this energy. When I was talking about this breakthrough, this new realm of knowing thyself, and how that is assisting and showing up in a unique way in your environment. I feel like there's just such a rich way that you're showing up in the environment, and not to say like rich as in like decadent. That's what I mean, like a decadent piece of chocolate cake, like a decadent, and like anything can be, there's so many ways that things can be decadent, you know. So there is a decadence that is being shown up, and that's where, again, linked to this like sensuality, really feeling the way things like feel, like taste in your body, the fabrics you like, the way the sun feels on your face. That's where I'm getting this groundedness within this momentum, within this whole kind of new energetic arena that I sense here. There has been breakthroughs. For sure. What else is going on? Sorry, I was just checking the time there. How can we understand the Seven of Cups a little bit more? I feel like so much inspiration. I feel like a lot of bubbling energy with this too. Like I said, it can almost get there's something that I sense is really engaging and exciting here. And it is assisting in this deepening capacity of knowing thyself. So like I said about the grapes, you know, I guess know your limit, play within it. You know, just finding your balance between, I heard like openness and, you know, having the time to rejuvenate and be in your own energy for a bit, like finding that balance, because the Seven of Cups can just be like, that's where it can get a little overwhelming. So I guess whatever it is, if this resonates, just really examining and, you know, kind of visiting healthy boundaries that have been put in place, as well as, you know, keeping the gates open to exploring this deeper awareness, or, you know, deepening passion, or just there's this inspiration, this this breakthrough moment, this break free moment. There's this, you know, limit kind of shattered through, and I keep kind of popping above the clouds and looking around. So there's kind of a notion of really kind of exploring maybe what this space has in store, you know, and taking your time taking your time with it, one step at a time is what I was going to say. So let's, yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful, Gemini. Like, got the World and the Ace of Cups. There's these like, yeah, incredible new beginnings I sense here. And then these two also have the Dove in them. So the Ace of Cups represents the self. And, you know, the feelings, the emotions, the sense of intuition. And with the Seven, it's this like potential. So I just feel like there's a, you know, a deepening sense of intuition, and again, something that's quite, I heard the word thrilling. And this is a card of endings and beginnings and blessings, you know? So that's really like sweet. Oh, actually there's one more card I feel like wants to come out, and it's for the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is that word limitation that I'm finding. That's where I'm pulling that word from. It is a card of feeling mentally trapped or stuck or in a loop. It can have a sense of tension with it, and that's where I'm getting that limitation. It's often, you know, parts of ourselves that are invitations to start kind of unraveling to understand, and then that's where these, you know, these breakthroughs happen. That's where that awareness happens, that deepening of awareness. And the more awareness we have about these places that we kind of are noticing or starting to get in our way, and in a sense, or just we are noticing we're bumping against them, you know, in our expansion, is awareness. I hope that makes sense. Our awareness is our superpower. The less power they have, these breakthroughs happen in those spaces. And I feel that here, Gemini. I feel like there's been maybe this, like this notion of bumping up against something and full kind of expanding through it, like I've been saying, Judgment on the bottom of the deck. Transformation. These little Eight of Swords moments can be like these really like squidgy moments of feeling like, you know, these are self-doubt energies, these are self-limitations, and I feel like there has been so much like identification of these places and time spent with them to get to know them. And yeah, like I said, it's hard to explain. I hope that I'm making sense, but like on the other side is this whole new space, and a result is like deeper awareness and deeper knowledge of life, you know? So very interesting. So there's been time spent with yourself, maybe exploring. There's been time spent with the self exploring any kind of tight places that are starting to kind of get in the way, bump up against you. There's also maybe been too, on the other side of things, this notion of, kind of illusion shattering as well. And that can also bring in a lot of awareness. That can really kind of bring us to that present moment to, you know, navigate it. And through navigation, we get to know ourselves, our willpower, our strength. The strength card came out on the bottom. Well, the strength card was on the bottom of the deck, but we got 9 of Pentacles to clarify the 8 of Swords. It's like, oh, 10 of Cups. It's like, oh my gosh, and there's grapes. Do you see them? Red grapes. Oh my gosh. Okay. And then there's the Dove. There's like a whole heart release here. Like, as you can see, the heart is like pinpointed by those swords. And these two cards depict like, yeah, grape symbolism, fertility, happiness, abundance, you know, prosperity, harvest, you know, sensuality, wealth, right? The 9 of Pentacles is like has built a life that, you know, they're beginning to become ready to share. So some of these like 8 of Swords moments may have been linked to feeling like, maybe like I heard you'll never get there, but this awareness being revealed is that there's this knowledge of absolutely I can get there, or there's been someone who even has entered your life, you know, where that like, oh wow, like, okay, see, this is, I deserve good things to happen to me, you know, like, and because the 10 of Cups is about emotional stability, emotional connection. It's about love and family and community. And we have the Wheel of Fortune underneath the 10 of Cups. And then the 3 of Swords. So leaning deeper into that 8 of Swords, it's like there's little, you know, areas of pain. The 3 of Swords is about heartbreak. It's about disappointment. It's about, yeah, like, you know, it's one of those cards that represent breakups. So some of you may be really, you know, expanding past a trigger point and really looking around in this world, like really ready to share the wealth and you know, with these two cards, it's like also to receive, because there's this notion of really becoming clear on, you know, who you are, what you need, what you give, with this grape bowl being passed. Some of you might have been, you know, there might be a frequency along the lines of feeling like you have nothing to offer, but then becoming very aware that you very much do have so much beauty to offer, so much, yeah, so many gifts to share, so much beauty, so much everything, you know. So becoming, you know, aware of that. And if some of you, it's not really, you're not real vibing with like the romantic part of that energy frequency, I sense it in just like feeling too of, yeah, feeling like, I just keep hearing the words, do I have anything to offer? You absolutely do. Absolutely do. And I feel this deepening into soul energy, and through that process, Gemini, we go into the shadow and we have to kind of unravel these Eight of Swords moments and break free. And the only way through is through. And it's a practice. It's gonna be, you know, we build a relationship with that practice throughout life. And I feel like there's like a level at this point where it's like, you know, able to be you're able to stand on it, like energetically, like, okay, and really look around at a new realm where there's this understanding and like celebration of sharing the wealth, knowing that you have so much to give, and, you know, stepping forward in your authenticity, you know, creating in a soulful way in any kind of realm that you resonate with, building a life, you know, that feels comfortable and stable. Because like I said, like, they're ready to switch into the Ten of Pentacles, which is family, it is connectedness, it is, you know, community, involvement, it's through, you know, and stability and wealth. So again, these grapes, I love that these are here. I haven't really noticed that before, to be honest. Like, I've seen this card so many times, I love it, but I haven't really looked at the grapes. So I just really feel, however this is playing out, Gemini, that, and maybe this is going to be comforting to you, because there's this, you know, maybe that process is being had to really like lean into certain places that are tight and painful, or, you know, just uncomfortable, to look at what's behind in order to, you know, shift it and, you know, release and break through and give more room for the soul to take up space, you know, and feeling that soulful energy in the environment that you are in. Like, so I hope that this is making sense. There's just a gentleness with the environment, I feel, too. Like, everything is just so gentle. It's like going from sharp to gentle. There's just this softening. What's coming up for Gemini? Asasaya, joy. This is another earth energy. And joy is one of those symbolisms of grapes, which is amazing. There's just this notion of really I just keep coming back to sharing the wealth. Master Hilarion and Archangel Raphael. Ooh, I just kind of got chills. It feels like, I just heard the word purpose again, like really feeling aligned in a way. Okay, I looked at this for so long, I don't even know. 28. Okay. Part of your divine purpose is to develop the power of your mind and use it for healing purposes. If you change your mind, you can change your world. Guidance and healing inspiration can come to you daily, helping improve your own life and the lives of others. Healing and opening the mind to new realities and possibilities are the gifts of Ascended Master Hilarion and Archangel Raphael. What a perfect way to conclude this reading. If you change your mind, you can change your world. And that's what I sense happening here with this Eight of Swords, this breakthrough, this busting through, like this limitation, right? Like, and it's a relationship with that for our entire lives. And through each time we deepen our awareness and can show up in more authentic ways, which like really assist and assist humanity. Part of your divine purpose is to develop the power of your mind and use it for healing purposes. Yeah. Wow. Very powerful people who are here. Very deep. What else? Yeah, guidance and healing inspiration can come to you daily, helping improve your own life and the lives of others. Yeah, you're always learning and you're receiving, and then like it's this transmutation into like authentic expression, and whatever you're doing for the people who are here, like what you're doing is like very purposeful, soulful. It's aligning. And there's this understanding of being a lifelong learner. Healing and opening the mind to new realities and possibilities are the gifts of Ascended Master Hilarion and Archangel Raphael. If you like working with angels, really, these two powerhouses might be very helpful. They're definitely stepping forward. So I love this line, if you change your mind, you can change your world. And I really feel that in this energy. And it feels really rejuvenating and exciting and passionate, as well as stable, and has a beautiful growth potential. So I hope that this is, oh, there's one that flew out too. Oh, look, life path. Let's see. Do you wonder about your divine life path and purpose? You have been enrolled in spiritual training. This training might be obvious in the form of a course you are undertaking, or hidden in a life lesson that is currently triggering your healing, learning, or growth. Whether it is obvious or not, successfully completing this training will empower you to fulfill your divine purpose this lifetime. Further clarity will be revealed to you. The universe promises that you shall know what you need at the perfect time and in a way that you cannot miss. Yeah, that too. Thank you. Thank you, energy, because that's so interesting. There's that element of divine timing, like a cosmic connection, a purpose, a soul, a revealing of the soul gift at a deeper level, an opening of the heart, space, really bringing a lot of awareness to tight mental spaces that are being identified, to explore them at your own pace and in ways that feel supportive and healthy for you. Because there's a balance there of, healing solitude as well as community and support. so you'll know where you fall in line, that alchemy for you, right? Know your potion, or whatever rhyme I said at the beginning. Is super long reading, I'm sorry, Gemini, but it just feels so deep. And the grapes, you know, like the grapes at the beginning, it feels like there's these ancient origins, you know, there's just a very deep ancient souls, I feel, who are attracted to this reading and are staying and are still here, you know. If this resonates, just deep ancient souls, like in each lifetime we kind of have, you know, karma, we have energies that we know we pick up and get stuffed in the shadow to perform maintenance on, to reveal and create more space for the soul to take place. And I feel like there's been extra room through, you know, a big learning, a process, a chapter, and you know, the world is here, a chapter that has kind of had more of a sharper nature. And it's, you know, there's a lot of, yeah, and now there's this time, or there has been this time of peeling back those layers, and then there's this force, there's this light, this inspiration, this passion, this fire, this purpose that is coming through with this Ace of Wands. Like, wow, life force that resides in each and every one of us. And I also, you know, those of you who are here and resonate with this, like, there's things that you do in your communities, there's things that you do for your livelihood that is like healing the collective, you know, teaching people tools, you know, you really give. And I thank you for that. And with Asasea and like the Queen of Pentacles and this, you know, earth energy, you know, sharing the wealth and grounding and joy, right? Joy. There's almost like, oh yeah, like I can feel, you know, because there's been such this Eight of Swords energy that there's been more room made for joy. And that is beautiful. All right, well, I should let you go, of course. And I hope that this has been helpful in some way. Yeah, I love you very much, and I'll see you next month.